For the first time since 2011, TNA Wrestling returns to Pittsburgh with back-to-back shows June 20th and 21st at the UPMC Event Center on the campus of Robert Morris University. It's going to be an action-packed night. TNA Wrestling, what a time to be part of TNA Wrestling. So many things going on. And say this, it's back-to-back shows. Speaking of back-to-back, Joe Hendry, I believe in you, but I also believe in the Florida Panthers. Back-to-back NHL Stanley Cup champions here in South Florida. Just did it last night. Joe Hendry, I don't know. Do you watch hockey? Do you keep up with it at all?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but you seem very happy, so I'm happy for you.
Yes, it's NHL Hockey Champions Show. This is big time for us. Hey, Joe, listen, this has been an incredible 2025 for you. Just amazing. And I want you to just, how do you wrap your head around what 2025 is? It's a journey. You've been on a path. I known of you for a while, and I know you've been working your tail off, even during COVID and all. You were just busting your tail trying to just present things, put things out there. I mean, your music videos are just incredible. But what has 2025 in particularly been like for you so far?
Yeah, it's been wild. I remember thinking the notion that 2025 would be bigger than 2024 seemed ridiculous, even in November, December time. But it's happened, you know. When you think about it, in less than a calendar year, I was in the world title match at Bound for Glory. I was in the Royal Rumble. I wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and I've appeared at Triple Mania. So I'd say it's been a pretty wild year, and I'm excited to see what's next. I have a feeling that more big things are on the way.
Well, Joe, there's going to be an incredible time coming to Pittsburgh. This is going to be it's a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. That roster is stacked. You guys are working with WWE, NXT. That's incredible. Elevated you, put them on your radar as well. And you've got fans over there seeing who Joe Hendry is, catching on. It seems like they love you there too, which is great for you, for TNA Wrestling. I'm curious. I want to go back a little bit. When you won the title from Nic Nemeth, incredible talent, Dolph Ziggler in WWE, just amazing. What was that night like for you when that happened?
Yeah, it was an incredible feeling. You know, there's nothing like winning your first world championship. I remember talking to, we're on better terms now, obviously, but I remember talking to JBL about it. And John said to me, you know, just when this happens, take a moment, you know, to really take this in, because there's no feeling like winning your first world championship. So yeah, it was a very special evening. I had family in attendance, I had friends there. It was awesome. It's something I'll never forget.
Now you move on from that, and all of a sudden, WrestleMania, Randy Orton needs an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
When did you find, if you can, I don't know how much of the curtain you could pull back, but whatever you can, just when did you realize, hey, you're going to be wrestling him? And this was all a surprise in the sense of, did they sort of like sneak you in?
Yeah, so I found out 1 week before. But here's the thing, anything can change. So I never really truly thought it was happening. I would say the day before, I was like, okay, this seems like it's probably happening now, because you just never know. Like things, again, it's like anything in wrestling, it's never official until it's happened. Anything can change. And I remember I was in the car on the way to the building. The show had already started. I was getting changed into my disguise in the car, and yes, I was disguised. And I wasn't unveiled until I got to Gorilla through the curtain in the disguise. So it was only known when I was in Gorilla and I took the disguise off. That was the first time I revealed myself.
Now, what is it like going through that curtain? There you are at WrestleMania, and there's your music playing, and you're doing your thing and pointing this way and looking this way, and just the whole. But what is that like? Is it more just like, okay, now it's time, boom, I go into the mode, or are you sort of soaking it in too?
I think WrestleMania, I was more soaking it in. On the walk to the ring, I remember the sound was unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. So much so that it felt like a physical wave of energy pushing against me. But it was a great moment. The fact that, the crowd knew who I was and they were singing my song. And then I remember standing on the apron, wearing the TNA World title, looking at Randy and then turning around and then doing the wave. It was just like, yeah, it was very surreal in the best possible way.
Joe, what do you just say about the experiences? And now when you look back at just all of this, what's going on? And just how do you put it? Do you put it in perspective at all?
How do you mean?
How this has paid off? Your effort,
Yeah,
everything.
well, the crazy thing is, I was honestly in a really good place when I was doing it in front of 200 people. Even before I got signed to TNA, mentally, I put myself in a spot where I was like, like for whatever reason, I don't know why this hasn't taken off, but I just thought actually there's some things that are out with my control, and if I can't, if me doing this in front of 200 people is as big as it gets, I'll do it to the best of my ability, and I'm committed. I'm a professional wrestler, regardless of how big that it gets. And at that moment, that's when doors just started to open rapidly for me, and it became more about delivering moments for the audience and what's the best reaction I can get, rather than I want this booking, I want this championship, I want this, I want that. It became about what value can I bring, and just every door that I wanted to opened up. So so to be here today in the position that I'm in, it's been all go, to be honest. Like I haven't had any free time for probably just over a year now. I think there's been like 1 or 2 weeks where I had some time to do a couple of different things, but that's really it, to be honest. And that's not a complaint. As I would like to think that I thrive in the role that I'm in. A lot of people want it. This is the thing about being the TNA World Champion, being someone who is in this position. Everybody wants to sit in the chair until it's time to sit in the chair. I think a lot of people don't realize what responsibility comes with it, to do it justice. When you're put in this position, you have to try and do the absolute best job that you can. And I can really hand on heart say I've given this my all, and I continue to get better and just try and evolve. And I try and get better with every match, and I really feel like I've improved so much, and I really think I can take this all the way.
One of the big things that happened for you, Joe Hendry was a worldwide viral sensation in 2024 with his theme song, I Believe in Joe Hendry, which is so cool. And I do believe.
Thank you.
I always
Thank
believe.
you. Thank you.
It was released as a single, and you're on the charts. You're on the music charts, the music video charts. I mean, everywhere, UK, in the United States, and all. Do you see that as a moment that started to put you in a higher echelon? Was that
absolutely?
A key
It
moment?
was the key moment. It was the key moment. It was the catalyst for all the other moments. So people have to remember that this kicked off with the song. The song was charting before anything else happened. It was April 29th I released the song. That happened. Then I had the concert where I made fun of AJ Francis, and the cross section of those two things, that's when I started going viral on TikTok. It was around that WrestleMania, around that time, that people were like, oh, what if Joe Hendry appeared at WrestleMania? So there was this chatter going on. There was the song, there was the concert with AJ. The cross section of all those, I think, it put me in a different light with TNA management. I think they saw me as someone who could be a main event player from that point, and also it caught the attention of NXT as well. So the song was the catalyst for me to go on those two paths, pursuing the TNA World title and appearing in NXT.
So if Joe Hendry was going to collaborate with someone, because you've had other music videos, other songs, just far like characterizing your opponents and just a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. It's very cool. I'm wondering, Elijah, R-Truth, could we maybe see collaborations there at some point, Joe Hendry?
So the collaboration I'm focused on right now is I've got a good friend of mine. There's a rapper called Lil Yachty, and it's tough for me being Scottish because I have to either commit to pronouncing the T or not. Little Yachty. There we go. It sounds weird as a Scottish person saying it, but he's a good friend of mine, and me and him have discussed perhaps doing something with my entrance. So I would love for him to walk out with me as part of an entrance. I'd love for him to do something with the song. It is something that's been discussed. I think he's such an awesome musician, and so being able to see his process on his tour and how he works, and me and him have talked about wrestling as well. I think there's a great mutual respect there, and I think you could see a collaboration there down the line.
Yeah, it's interesting. Athletes from other sports, celebrities, TV, movies, rappers, music, entertainers are all into pro wrestling. They've been in it for years. You see it more now because social media and pop culture. And you mentioned Lil Yachty. Well, like you with the Florida Panthers, I don't know much there, so I got to check Lil Yachty out. You got to check the Florida Panthers out.
It's Lil Yachty, so it's like a yacht. So that's
Little Yachty.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, it's so much. I want a few more questions. We'll wrap this up. Some of the things that I've noticed here. By the way, TNA Wrestling, 8 p.m. Thursday nights, Access TV. You just got to check it out if you haven't. I mean, the talent roster is just incredible. Collaborations with different organizations as well. And Joe does a tremendous job, and they all do. And they're going to be in Pittsburgh June 20th and 21st. You can go to Ticketmaster.com to get your tickets. Nothing like seeing pro wrestling live, especially TNA Wrestling. I got to ask you this. Something else worth seeing live, and I don't know if you've been a part of this yet. I know that you have, but maybe not directly. The Savannah Bananas.
Yeah. So I don't know much about them, but I saw them do one of my entrances, and it looked pretty cool.
Joe, might sometime we could see Joe Hendry, because they get sometimes guests and celebrities to appear with them and to throw a pitch, to do something. Would that be something maybe on your radar?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just contact the email on my social media accounts.
Joe Hendry, it's just incredible where you've come and what you're doing. I'm curious. I want you to talk a little bit about Pittsburgh, coming to Pittsburgh, and just that incredible roster that's coming as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about the TNA wrestling roster, you got to mention the Hardys. Absolutely. There aren't many people that I say are living legends in our business, still active, but they are just on top of their game right now. They're huge draws for both the shows and the meet and greets. And I think, if you're here in Pittsburgh, come on down and watch the show, but also come and meet the Hardys and myself and many other stars as well. And we're going to have an awesome show. TNA Wrestling has something for everyone. It's the ultimate variety show. If you love professional wrestling, TNA Wrestling is where it's at. We've got the thing that I really like about TNA as well. We've got all the premium packages, we've got the meet and greets, but we also have a super accessible initial ticket price as well. So there really is something for everyone.
I'll tell you this too, Joe. The Knockouts division. I mean, that's really the catalyst of women's wrestling, and that revolution women's wrestling. Took a big start there with TNA Wrestling, and that roster too. The whole roster is great, but the women as well are just incredible.
And yeah, I think that's one thing that TNA Wrestling has been phenomenal at. The Knockouts division has contributed so much to women's wrestling, and you can see TNA Wrestling's like footprint all over all companies in professional wrestling, because it's not just the Knockouts division, but also the X division as well is the precursor for, I guess, the modern style of wrestling. And tag wrestling was hugely prioritized in TNA Wrestling as well, throughout that kind of 2010s era as well. So there's so many unbelievable tag teams, and obviously the heavyweight division as well. It's just TNA Wrestling is pro wrestling. So if you're in town, come on down.
You got anything planned for that, Trick Williams?
Yeah, getting my belt back. That's what I've got planned. Yeah.
All right, Joe. And I have to ask you this. I would be remiss without asking you this. Okay, so my Mount Rushmore of Scottish wrestlers: Piper, Joe Hendry, of course, Drew McIntyre, Joe Coffey.
Oh, there you go. Good choice. Good choice. Good choice.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much. We look forward to everybody to seeing you in Pittsburgh, seeing all the things going on with TNA Wrestling. Just great. Bagpipes. Joe Hendry, have you done the bagpipes yet?
I cannot play the bagpipes.
Thank you, Joe. I believe.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Thank you. See ya.